It's time for some rankings on the podcast. Going to be doing several rankings leading up to Christmas Day this week, starting today with our power rankings. So, considering we're in a lockout right now, I'm going to do my current power rankings based on what we've seen in free agency so far and see where your Atlanta Braves currently rank after being the World Series champions and with what all has transpired over the offseason to this point. So, let's get into it.
Hey, this is Stacey Gotsoulias,
DC Lundberg,
Ryan Finkelstein,
Taylor Blake Ward,
host of Locked On Yankees,
Locked On Mariners,
Locked On Mets,
Locked On Angels,
and you're listening to Locked On Braves.
Locked On Braves,
Locked On Braves,
part of the Locked On Podcast Network.
Hey, and welcome back to Locked On Braves, brought to you by the Locked On Podcast Network, where we talk about your favorite teams every day. I am your host, Jake Mastriani. You can follow me on Twitter at ShortstopBall. Check out my bio there to see everywhere I am covering the game of baseball, including the Atlanta Braves over at TomahawkTake.com in written form. Also, please make sure you subscribe to the podcast on Twitter at LockedOn_Braves. Love all the interaction there, trying to make you part of the show as well. Continue to send me in your topic suggestions, your questions that you want answered on the podcast, and I will continue to get to those and incorporate those into the show. So again, make sure you're following us on Twitter at LockedOn_Braves. Make sure you're subscribed on YouTube as well. Getting really great results over there and good comments on each episode. So I appreciate that. Appreciate all the comments as well on the videos. And make sure that you rate, review, and subscribe to the Locked On Braves podcast, wherever it is you listen to your podcast. Appreciate all the support for the show. And as always, thank you for making Locked On Braves your first listen of each and every day. Hopefully, as soon as you jump in the car on your way to work, you tune us on, or whatever you do when you open up your podcast, open up your phone in the morning. Hopefully, you're tuning in to Locked On Braves. Today, we're going to be doing our lockout power ranking. So I thought it a good time, obviously, with a lockout to give you our updated power rankings with what has transpired in the offseason to this point and see where the Atlanta Braves currently rank after finishing the 2021 season in the top spot. So I'll probably do some power rankings throughout the regular season as well. But I wanted to go ahead and do one now while rosters are frozen. And then I'll do another one, obviously, after the offseason is over and sometime during spring training before the start of the season. And power rankings are something that you all enjoyed, let me know, and I'll continue to do those throughout the year. But thought it a good time now, again, with rosters frozen and us having, I would say, half of the offseason done. There's still a lot of really good free agents out there. Things are certainly going to change, but obviously, during a lockout, a good stopping point to go ahead and do our power rankings. So I'm going to start at the bottom, 30 to 21, 20 to 11, and then our top 10. So starting at number 30 is the Baltimore Orioles. And unfortunately, I hate that because I like the Baltimore Orioles. I've been looking for that Baltimore Orioles hat with the all black hat and that little Oreo logo on the top, the bird with the bat taking a swing. That's the hat I've been looking for forever. It seems to be hard to find and hard to find in my size, but I love the Orioles. I want to be part of Birdland. I want to see them turn it around. Hopefully that starts to happen this season. Hopefully Adley Rutschman gets his call up. I think he's going to be a very good player for a long time. Loved watching him in his days at Oregon State. So I'm excited to see him, some other prospects, Grayson Rodriguez on the brink of breaking through. So I think that's going to be a very exciting team, but this has been a long and painful rebuild for the Orioles. And right now they still, to me, rank as the worst team in Major League Baseball. Next is the Pittsburgh Pirates at 29. Again, just a kind of a dreadful franchise, honestly. Again, in the middle of a rebuild, got some, promising players and Brian Hayes and some others coming up, but just a tough go for them. And they play in a pretty, weak division, at least, when they cross over with the Centrals they had the last couple of years, but just not a very good team. They don't draft and develop pitching very well. So, and again, I hate it. I like the Pirates too. I mean, I'm a fan of baseball. I want to see teams do well. But unfortunately, the Pirates just aren't there right now. So I got them ranked 29th. At 28th, and hopefully we got some Nationals fans listening to this because you're going to be heated. But I got the Nationals ranked 28th. I think the Nationals are about to fall really hard, and they've already fallen pretty hard. I mean, they went 65 and 97 last year, and I didn't give you the records for the Orioles and Pirates. The Orioles were 52 and 110 last year. The Pirates 61 and 101. The Nationals were not far ahead of either of them at 65 and 97. So, I don't know. Well, I do know where the Nationals are going. They are going down. I think they are completely in rebuild mode at this time. With the Marlins trying to get out of that rebuild, obviously the Phillies, Mets, and Braves trying to win. I think the Nationals are easily the worst team in the NL East. So I got them ranked 28th. Next, I got the Arizona Diamondbacks. Again, a franchise I'm really confused on what they're trying to do. They kind of went for it a couple of off seasons ago, getting Madison Bumgarner, Cole Calhoun, and some others. And, they have some interesting talent there. I know every Braves fan is wanting to trade for Ketel Marte. I talked to the Diamondbacks people, and they want to sign him long-term. Could be the cornerstone for when they turn things around. But that franchise is really in an awkward spot right now. But I got them ranked 27th. This one could be a little bit controversial. I got the Minnesota Twins at 26. I think that division, while there won't be a lot of great teams, I think it's going to be very competitive, as you're going to see in my rankings coming up. And I see the Twins kind of backsliding there a little bit. They did re-sign or extend Byron Buxton, which was unfortunate. I wanted the Braves to trade for him. So I guess they're going to try to build around him, but that's kind of an aging lineup. I don't see a lot of potential there for the Twins. I think they're going to fall back in that division as some of those other teams like the Royals, Tigers are getting better. Obviously, the White Sox at the top of the division. Next is the Miami Marlins. And, I like the Miami Marlins. I think they're doing good things over there. Derek Jeter and company, they're certainly looking to turn the corner over there in Miami. I think they're still a good ways away. And like I said, the Braves, Mets, Phillies, they are all very much in win now mode, which is not helping them with their rebuild. But we know the Marlins are a scrappy team. They got some young up-and-coming players. Jazz Chisholm, a very exciting player over there, and they got some really good pitching. Hopefully they'll get Sixto Sanchez back this year. They got some really good starting pitching over there that's going to help them turn the corner, but I still right now just have them ranked 25th. At 24, I have the Colorado Rockies, and I think this is the worst run franchise in all of baseball. I don't think that's a bold statement by any means. No clue what the Rockies are doing. I don't think they have any clue how to win out there. Certainly have no idea how to take care of their star franchise players. So I don't know what's going on in Colorado, and it's unfortunate because they have some really good, exciting players. I mean, they've had Nolan Arenado, Trevor Story. Now they got Brendan Rodgers, coming up. They have some exciting players over there and can be fun to watch, but I just don't think that front office has any clue about how to build a winning team. So I got the Rockies at 24. And I got the Chicago Cubs. It's hard for me to really see the Cubs being this bad because the Cubs we've known for the last, decade now has, been a winning franchise. And they did add Marcus Stroman in the offseason, but I just see the Cubs continuing to take a step back. I hate it over there for David Ross, and that's why it's kind of hard for me to put the Cubs this low because I just think I want to believe David Ross is a better manager than that, or we actually don't really know. It's his first managerial job, but I got the Cubs at 23. I got the Kansas City Royals at 22. I just like what the Royals do. I mean, it's not the most talented lineup by any means, but they will fight. They will scrap. They are a really fun team to watch. I actually enjoy watching them play. So I got the Kansas City Royals at 22. At 21, I got the Cleveland Guardians, which that's going to take some getting used to. I'm still not sure I'm on board with that. This is a pretty big drop for Cleveland. They are 80 and 82 last year. They're always going to have good pitching. It's them, trying to find offense, build around Jose Ramirez over there. But I see them kind of taking a step back this year as well. So that's 30 through 21. Next up, we'll look at the next 10 in my power rankings. This holiday season, grab the protein bar that tastes like a candy bar, or even better than a candy bar, and that's Built Bar, filled with so much holiday goodness, rich with decadent flavor, covered in chocolate, but amazingly low in calories, sugar, net carbs, and fat, and high in protein, so you get the best of both worlds, delicious and healthy. So many flavors, you'll have a hard time choosing. Will you go with the raspberry or mint brownie, cherry or double chocolate, cookies and cream, or peanut butter brownie? Built Bar gives you that extra fuel you need to bust down those mall doors and battle all the holiday shoppers. Or if you're just standing in endless shopping lines, Built Bar can give you that extra something to keep you going. So throw one in your jacket or purse. You never know when you're going to need it. Like some of those marshmallowy treats around the holidays, you need to get your hands on Built Bar Puffs. They're light, fluffy, and marshmallowy through and through. Different flavors, all covered in chocolate. It tastes so good, you won't believe they're filled with protein. Go to Built.com, use our promo code LOCKED15 to get 15% off your next order. Again, that's LOCKED15 at Built.com for 15% off your order. All right, moving on to 20 through 11 here. So this one is a little bit of foreshadowing. Again, I was trying to mostly keep this as to what we know the rosters to be right now, but it looks like the Oakland Athletics are going to go in a bit of a rebuild mode. So I have them ranked here at 20th, even though they were 86 and 76 last year. I can see them selling, trading off some more players. I know Braves fans are interested in Matt Olson, depending on how the Freddie Freeman situation shakes out. So I got the Oakland Athletics at 20 here. I think also there's other teams in the division, which you're going to see ranked ahead of them, which I think are going to pass them by this offseason as well. And then I got the Detroit Tigers at 19. I think they are on the verge of kind of breaking out of their rebuild after, some tough years. They added Javier Baez and Eduardo Rodriguez this offseason. Not two moves that I particularly love that I think are going to make a huge impact, but you combine those guys, some veteran guys, some leadership, one in the field, one in the starting rotation. Definitely think that will help some of those young guys there as they continue to develop. So I see the Tigers taking a step forward, finished 77 and 85 last year. Could see them get closer to around 80 wins this coming up season. Would not be a huge stretch there. And then I got the Cincinnati Reds at 18. The Reds are, again, one of those teams that just kind of float in the middle, not really winning, not really losing. And I like the Reds too. They're a fun team to watch, like a lot of these teams are, that I just enjoy watching. But I just don't know what the Reds are doing, where they're going. Are they buying? Are they selling? Again, they're just kind of one of those teams in the middle. I don't really know how to view them. So again, I got them at 18. I see them being another 500 type team. Will they trade Sonny Gray? Will they trade Luis Castillo? I don't know what they're going to do. So for right now, I'm just going to put them in the middle, which is where they always seem to be. I'll put them at 18. And then a team making the biggest jump on here is the Texas Rangers. Finished 60 and 102 last year, but went out this offseason already and have signed Corey Seager, Marcus Semien, and John Gray. So obviously two big additions to the lineup and a very solid addition to the starting rotation. Probably still have some more work to do in the starting rotation if they really want to make a big jump. But I mean, that's three really solid signings. The Rangers are clearly going to be a better team. So I got them jumping all the way up to 17th. Right ahead of them, I have the Los Angeles Angels. I think those two will be battling for that third, fourth spot in the NL West, and potentially battling for an AL wildcard spot. This is more so hopeful for me than anything because I want to see Mike Trout in the postseason. But I got the Angels at 16th. They were 77 and 85 last year. They've added Noah Syndergaard already. They probably need to do more to that pitching staff. But I mean, if you consider them healthy, I mean, a lineup with Mike Trout, Shohei Ohtani, Anthony Rendon, some other really good hitters in that lineup. Maybe Joe Adele finally breaks out. Brandon Marsh has some experience under his belt. So, if those two young guys develop like many think they will, you got David Fletcher in that lineup. Max Stassi was a really good catcher. I mean, that lineup can be really good at full potential. It's just how much can they develop that starting pitching? How much can they add to that starting pitching? If Noah Syndergaard is healthy and is the Syndergaard we know he can be and have seen, then, I mean, that would be a great move. I just would not put all my eggs in that basket. So there's still more work to do on the starting pitching side of things before I see them really making a big jump. But I got the Angels at 17, and then I got the Padres at 15. Still a really good team. It's still just amazing that they didn't make the postseason at all last year. It seemed like it was just no doubt that they were going to get one of those wild card spots, and then just completely collapsed in the second half. But, Fernando Tatis Jr., Manny Machado, keeping that pitching staff healthy, Yu Darvish, Blake Snell, all of those guys that they have, the Nelson Lamet, if he could stay healthy, I mean, they have the pieces to win. So, I still got the Padres in the mix there at 15. They finished 79 and 83 last year. We'll see what kind of moves they make this offseason, but I really think the Padres kind of get back in it in 2022. I got the St. Louis Cardinals at 14. They finished 90 and 72 last year. They stole that second wild card spot. It really got hot at the end. They've added Steven Matz this offseason to help out the rotation. Again, obviously, the Cardinals always just seem to win. They have a very solid lineup. They play good baseball, very good defensive team. So got the Cardinals at 14. I think they'll be in the mix. And I got the Philadelphia Phillies at 13, 82 and 80 last year. They really kind of fell apart injury-wise, especially in the lineup last season. But they were a really hot team there for a minute. Bryce Harper kind of just carrying them down the stretch. But, they got the pieces. Zach Wheeler very easily could have won the Cy Young Award. We saw Aaron Nola kind of have an up and down season, but still, very good. They probably need to make, or they do need to make some moves as well. Obviously, that bullpen has been a disaster for them for a while now, several seasons, but still very good, talented team. So I got them at 13. Then I got the New York Yankees at 12. They finished 92 and 70 last year. Obviously, they can hit. They have Garrett Cole in the rotation. So I mean, they're gonna be there. They're playing in a really tough division though. So I got the Yankees at 12. And then the Seattle Mariners, who became one of the darlings last season, just missed out on a shot in the wild card. They've added Robbie Ray this offseason, so that is a huge get there. A young team, up-and-coming team, an exciting team that people just enjoy. And like I said, a lot of people cheering for them at the end of last year. So I got them at 11. All right, we'll take one more break, and then we'll come back and do our top 10, and we'll see where the Atlanta Braves fall. BetOnline has you covered all season with more props, odds, and lines than ever before as football season continues the march to the playoffs. BetOnline remains your number one spot for all the sports action this season. Head to our new updated desktop or mobile website to sign up today and receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Just use our promo code LOCKEDON to receive your bonus. From basketball, football, NHL, boxing, and UFC, right to your favorite Vegas casino games. Don't wait to take advantage of all the amazing offers available for the 2021 season. BetOnline is the fastest and easiest way to bet on all your favorite sports. BetOnline, where the game starts. All right, so finally getting into the top 10. And at 10, I have the Boston Red Sox, finished 92 and 70 last year and lost to the Houston Astros in the ALCS. Again, just a very good team as much as I don't like them. Alex Correa apparently is a very good manager because that team completely reversed course with him back at the helm last season. So they did lose out on Eduardo Rodriguez, went to the Tigers. So that's a loss in the starting rotation. But if they get Chris Sale back healthy, he would be a big boost to the rotation. So got the Red Sox at 10. That one could probably be interchangeable between the Cardinals, Phillies, Yankees, Mariners. You could probably put either one of them at the 10 spot. I think the top 9 are pretty solid right now as far as the really good teams in baseball. At 9, I have the Milwaukee Brewers, one of the best pitching staffs in all of baseball, will continue to be so with Corbin Burns, Brandon Woodruff, and Freddie Peralta. I mean, we saw it in the postseason. I mean, even in that DS series that the Braves won, I mean, that pitching staff for the Brewers was really good. Can they get some offense? Can Christian Yelich bounce back? That's really the only thing that kept them from winning a World Series. I mean, I could see them if they get past the Braves in that DS. I could see the Brewers going on and winning the World Series. Their offense had just become ice cold, and the Braves pitching staff had become red hot. So I got the Brewers at 9. They were 95-67 last year. I have the New York Mets at 8. I have them making a big jump. This one could be controversial. I know a lot of Braves fans may think I'm overrating the Mets a little bit here. They finished 77-85 last year, but they made some good additions. I mean, Max Scherzer, Starling Marte, Mark Canha, and Eduardo Escobar. I mean, I love those additions. I think they're really smart additions, give you a lot of depth. And yes, I know the likelihood of Scherzer and DeGrom both staying healthy all year long aren't great, but as we're doing power rankings in the offseason, you kind of just have to assume both those guys are healthy. And if that is the case, that is going to be a very dangerous 1-2 punch. And the Mets are certainly going to be one of the best teams in baseball. So I got the Mets at 8. I got the Chicago White Sox at 7, one of my favorite teams outside of the Braves. I love the Chicago White Sox. I live in Birmingham, Alabama, so I get to watch their AA affiliate a lot. And I've seen Luis Robert and a bunch of others come through. I think this is the year we could see the White Sox kind of break through. They really got bounced kind of quickly in the postseason the last 2 years. I'm hoping 2022 is the year where they kind of break out and make some noise in the postseason, but a very good young team there in the White Sox, 93-69 last year. Probably need to make some additions in the rotation there, though. I got the San Francisco Giants at 6, team that came out of nowhere and won 107 games last year. And, they did it with some pitching, some really good pitching, and they've brought some of that back in Anthony DeSclafani and Alex Wood. They did lose out on Kevin Gausman, but they brought in Alex Cobb. So fantasy baseball players out there, go get Alex Cobb, because whatever the Giants are doing with pitching out there is clearly working, and they see something in Alex Cobb. So remember that one when you're doing your fantasy drafts. But I got the Giants at 6. Again, tip of the cap to them. I don't know how, but they were really good last year. I'm not going to bet against them in 2022. I got the Toronto Blue Jays at 5. Again, I know I'm saying I love these teams, but I'm a fan of baseball. I love to watch all these different teams and all these good young players. But I got the Blue Jays at 5th. I think they're going to be one of the most exciting teams in all of baseball to watch next year. Got a lot of good young talent over there. Bichette, Guerrero, just a really fun team over there. They finished 91-71 last year. They've added Kevin Gausman, stole him from the Giants this offseason. But they pretty much bring everyone else back. That's going to be a really good team, a really fun team to watch in the Blue Jays. So I got them 5th. In the top 4, I got the Los Angeles Dodgers at 4. They finished 106-56 last year. As you know, lost to the Braves in the NLCS. Got no problem saying that. Got smashed by the Braves in the NLCS. They lost Corey Seager this offseason. Obviously, they lost Max Scherzer. They did bring back Chris Taylor, which is a big get, in my opinion. I was really hoping the Braves would get Chris Taylor, but the Dodgers are able to bring him back. Their Swiss Army knife, do-it-all type of guy there. So I got the Dodgers at 4. I think they probably still have some moves left in them this offseason. I got the Houston Astros, the runners up last year, the World Series losers. They went 95-67 last year, and again, made it to the World Series. They were able to bring back Justin Verlander, very expensive deal there. They also signed Hector Neris for the bullpen. They're possibly going to lose out on Carlos Correa. Maybe they bring him back. Maybe they don't. Either way, that's still a very good young team. We saw they got some young hitters, Jordan Alvarez, Kyle Tucker, that are just going to continue to produce in that lineup. And, if Correa does go on, I have, confidence that those guys will fill in the middle of that order along with Bregman, Altuve, and others. So, I still have very much confidence they're going to be a very good offensive team. As we saw in the World Series, they need some work on the starting rotation. Getting Verlander back could very well help them out in that regard. I got the Tampa Bay Rays at 2. So spoiler alert, got the Braves at 1. I'm never betting against the Tampa Bay Rays. I don't even really know what they have coming back, what they're doing over there, but I have all the confidence in the world that Tampa Bay Rays will be one of the best teams in all of baseball again. Finished 162 last year. So I got the Rays ranked second, and I got the Atlanta Braves ranked first. This is an Atlanta Braves podcast, so I kind of have to do it, even though without Freddie Freeman on this roster, it's really hard to put them even in the top 4 right now. But still, you got to figure, again, we're assuming that people are going to be healthy next year. If the Braves are healthy with Ronald Acuna Jr., I won't even count in Mike Soroka, but they get Freddie Freeman back, they get Acuna back, to a World Series roster. You got a starting rotation with Charlie Morton, Max Fried, and Ian Anderson that were just absolutely unbelievable in the postseason. You still got that good bullpen intact. So I'm going to let the Braves continue that number 1 spot probably throughout the rest of the offseason. But without having Freddie Freeman on there, again, I'd probably have to knock them down to the back half of the top 10. Freddie Freeman is a big piece of what the Braves do. But for now, I'm going to put them at number 1. So those are my power rankings for now. Let me know your thoughts as always on Twitter. How would you rank them right now? Who would you rank number 1 so far with what we've seen in the offseason? But that will do it for this episode of Locked On Braves. Again, follow us on Twitter at shortstopball at LockedOn_Braves. Send me your comments there, your power rankings, and also just send me in any questions, ideas, thoughts that you have for the podcast. Also, make sure that you rate, review, and subscribe to the Locked On Braves podcast, wherever it is you get your podcast. And we will talk to you next time.